Good evening, YouTube. Thanks for tuning back into the channel tonight, right here with the Rustbelt Mechanic. So tonight we don't have anything really big and shiny in the way of tool reviews or car reviews or anything like that, but I have something very important that I need some help from all of my subscribers with. Tonight we're going to be going through some very somber situations with Springfield Technical Community College located in Massachusetts. We're going to be going through the issues that they're having at the management level and how it's affecting their students, their community, and the automotive technology program as a whole. Stay tuned. So tonight where we're going to be aiming our focus at is Springfield Technical Community College. This college is located in Springfield, Massachusetts, smaller town on the western side of MA. So we've got this school, right around 7,000 students. They're known as a really good technical community college in that area. And they're also one that is located pretty centrally between a couple of big cities, someplace to where local community kids aren't able to go such great distances for their community college needs. These community colleges are known as stepping stones, either getting their students into larger colleges or giving them blue-collar degree programs to be able to get themselves into the workforce. They've had a really good history of being able to get their students well trained and into the workforce. Now tonight we're specifically going to be talking about the automotive program, but they did cut quite a few other programs. Stcc actually cut 7 major technical programs out of their arena. Now, I'm going to go through these here and you guys tell me what you think about them. The programs that they actually cut were automotive technology, biomedical engineering, civil engineering, cosmetology, dental assistance training, landscape design, and management. Now, in my mind, those are more of the technical community college traits that a lot of these smaller schools are really known for and able to get their students in and out into the workplace in their specific area. So I know a lot of these technical community colleges, they're known for being the stepping stones, like I said, to get you into a 4-year degree program, but their major cornerstone is to be able to service their community to get students that are actually trained in blue-collar working areas out into the workforce. And these 7-degree programs, in my mind, are one of the biggest ones that most technical community colleges are actually known for. So they cut these 7 programs. They also cut 21 staff members positions, and this is going to affect anywhere between 90 and 120 students that would be going in and through those programs. Now we have President John Cook, who steps into the picture. He's been the president there for going on a little while, and he decided to make some major changes to the technical community college. He came in and said, effective July 1st, we're going to be cutting 7 of these degree programs, and we're not going to be servicing them anymore for the upcoming year. Now this affected, like I said, over 100 students likely. Now what about some of the actual reasoning that Mr. Cook had for canceling these most important programs to the community college? Reason number 1 was because of the coronavirus. Now, we all know that this has affected people in lots of different ways, in lots of different buildings, communities, different industries have been affected totally. But I think that this reasoning is not such a great one in the community college atmosphere. He said that due to coronavirus, they had enrollment issues. They weren't able to get their enrollment needs met. They weren't getting applications up to their standards, and they're not able to fill the seats for those specific degree programs. But we're going to prove this one wrong tonight. We have a video from the professor of the automotive technology program there at the school. He's going to be giving us some actual enrollment numbers from this automotive program to give you an idea of where they're really coming from.
Hello, my name is Ramiro Soares. I'm the department chair for Springfield Technical Community College's automotive department. I want to thank you all for taking time out to hear the plight of my program. My program is one of the original ones that started with the college in 1967, so thus we've been in operation for 53 years. Our program, some basic background, we are a 2-year program, but we start as a first-year certificate of completion program, strictly automotive courses for 2 semesters. Then if students successfully complete that program, then they're allowed to matriculate up to the associate's degree level, which gives them 4 more automotive courses, 2 per semester for another year, plus academic courses. Now, the school recently decided to close our program for reasons that still to this minute um, astonish me. Some of the figures were not correct and still are not correct. And so I want to share with you actual figures from our program that are documented, all from the school's investment in having research done and from our research department. So first of all, our enrollment has been full since the last 14 years, meaning that we start with 20 individuals. That is all the school will allow because of the limitations of the lab at the size and for safety operations. So 20 individuals all we can take. Normally we'll take up to 22, knowing that some don't show up on the first day. So we usually do an overload. Long and the short of it is, in 2019, we had 39. Remember, we're talking about 20 on the intake, but then we also have a senior class that comes back in the second year. So you may have an overlapping students. That's why these numbers are higher than 20. So in 2018, we had 39. 2019, we had 36. 2020, we had 30. And the reason this 2020, the number is lower is because of social distancing because of COVID. I did not choose to take in 20. I discussed it with the school, and for social distancing reasons in the lab, to do it correctly and follow CDC guidelines, we could only take in 17, and that lowered our number to only 30 for this year, slated to be with us. But application-wise, we're always one of the highest ranked application receiving programs. There is a huge demand. 2017, we had 72 applicants. Now, 72 means they got letters of acceptance, meaning that they passed at least an entry look. There might have been more applicants. Usually we're around the 130, 140 area, but only 72 were acceptable to even apply. 2018, it was 71. 2019 was 85. And then this year, in other words, for fall 2020, we had only 51 applicants, and the reason that is because I shut off applications in the first week of June because I was already full. I already had a full complement of students. The class was ready to run. I was only going to start with 16 students so that we could, again, do the social distancing within the labs.
There you guys have it. With that many kids who are actually wanting to get into the program and can't due to, restrictions on how many people they can have in the building and teaching restrictions, I totally get that one. But when you're able to fill 100% of the seats available, we're going to cut that one down real quick, Mr. Cook. Now let's go on to reason number 2, the cost of the automotive program. Due to the lower number of students coming in and the overall sheer cost of the degree program that the automotive field has, it's not really cost effective to run this degree program. All right, first off, you are a community college. 95% of community colleges within the United States run in a red budget basis, or really, really close to their black budget. They don't make a whole lot of money. They're running on operation costs based for the students to be able to get different grants and subsidies from the U.S. government. They're coming in, they're also getting funding from the government as well because they are a local community college. Now, however, the Springfield Technical Community College this year has been known as a proven fact to run at over a $3 million budget where they've run in the black. That is right. They're actually running at a $3 million profit. So how can they justify cutting certain major programs because of the financial cost of running those programs when their school as a whole is running in the black? Like I said, most other community colleges are running in the red anyways, and they're just trying to fill the needs of their students, and they're making up that degree program budget from the state or from federal governments. But now we're seeing the truth come out that they're actually making money. So this one is also a debunked fact, Mr. Cook. Now, there was some other reasons kind of floating around the system as to why those degree programs were cut from the budget, and one was that they really weren't that important into the local industry as some other ones were.
So, expansion-wise, now the program and the president of the college came out and said that they closed most of the programs that were hands-on programs, which is astonishing to me because our name says it all. We are Springfield Technical Community College. And then they go out and they take out the technical part by closing out the technical programs that the school was actually founded on.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean, that's true.
In the 2017 report that the school paid an outside consultant to file, they found out that for the Automotive Technology Department, we were the second highest behind the CNC program for demand. There was a demand for 228 more people that we could push out. Of course, because of the confines of the property and the building, we can't meet that number, but we could expand the program. There was a huge interest. They also had a listing that job postings within the state of Massachusetts were somewhere around 18,576. Now, this is from the school zone report. The second part that I want to share with you is that in the Springfield area alone, within the last 2 years, I did my own search and found out that there was 220 openings in the automotive repair industry. And in the Connecticut area, we border right on the Connecticut line, there's 930. So there's quite a demand for technicians coming out. And as most of you would know, being on this YouTube channel, the demand for good quality people to repair vehicles is really necessary.
Now, out of the 90+ degree programs that Stcc offers, let's hear some of the ones that they didn't cut. Digital publishing, fire investigation, Internet of Things.
What?
Okay, Internet of Things. Interactive media design. Yeah, that one, does seem okay. Social media strategy. Really, you need social media strategy over knowing how to fix an automobile. Let me know how this one actually functions at your community college level. I see where some people are coming from in the cost of certain programs over the importance of others, but when you are running so many other degree programs, there is still a range of cost to even open up those programs to students. So when we're thinking that Internet of Things and social media strategy, we're figuring out how to hashtag our Instagram posts over knowing how to change our own oil. Let's see where that one is more important, Mr. Cook. Another strategy, flush down the toilet for you. Now you guys know that I am a big proponent for all of the programs, the blue collar ones, and especially the automotive programs that help out new students trying to get into the automotive field. It's crucial to help out these students to help connect them into what they need to do properly to get into the automotive program and help propel them through an amazing career that they possibly could have. Now, when places like Stcc start cutting those possibilities for the younger students in that area, that is what really infuriates me, and it infuriates all kinds of people there locally. They actually had a full-on protest there at the school. News programs, local radio shows come on, and just to hear the people who were actually from those programs and their possibilities.
Faculty members staged a protest outside the college today. 22 News reporter Mike Mascadrelli joins us live in Springfield with why they are real concerns about the college's future.
Yeah, well, faculty members are upset over layoffs and the discontinuation of several programs, and they also believe the administration isn't doing enough to counteract its financial problems. Now, faculty members voiced their concerns today outside the college campus on Federal Street and State Street. The protest comes after Stcc confirmed that a total of 21 full-time staff and faculty positions were eliminated recently through retirements, retrenchments, and layoffs. They also will no longer offer 7 programs. They include cosmetology, dental assistant training, automotive technology, and landscape design.
Now, what did the Stcc president and board do to be able to connect with their local community who was protesting against closing these programs? Pretty much nothing. They might have given out a couple of generic statements, but they didn't do any kind of press conferences or any kind of town hall meetings with any of these programs to be able to come to some kind of conclusion on maybe helping to further their programs down the line instead of just cutting them off altogether. Now, what's going to infuriate you even more is this information. When John Cook, the president, decided to cut off those programs, such as the Automotive, they decided to all of a sudden cut it off. Nobody else was allowed into the building.
You shall not pass!
Some of these students are still putting engines together in the middle of the Automotive bay. They had teachers' toolboxes, students' tools. They had faculty cars, students and customers' cars still torn apart in the middle of the bays. And what did they say? Due to coronavirus standards, you are not allowed to enter the building. You have a giant building with multiple lifts, and you're saying that you cannot socially distance in that large of a facility? I think not. Now, when some of the teachers and students asked, hey, can we come back in there, put some of the vehicles back together so that we can get them out? Again, the president said, no, you cannot. You can call a tow company to come in and pick that vehicle up and take it to another location. Now, say for instance, I have a Subaru with a transmission and engine sitting on the ground with the subframe. Do you think any kind of tow truck driver is going to come up and be able to do anything with this vehicle that is totally in 300 pieces and the entire drivetrain sitting on the floor waiting to get a transmission rebuilt? I really don't think so, and the president thinks that they should just be able to hook it up and take it on out of there. No, this is going to be weekends, if not weeks, of programs and actual work on these cars to get them back into running condition. And that was the whole point of summer programs, to get them taken apart, take them apart at a nice, easy pace and rebuild certain things so these students know and understand. Now, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to probably tow them out in pieces, wrecked and damaged, and they're probably even going to damage other parts of the building trying to get all their stuff out. Now, how happy would you be if you had $20,000 or more worth of tools sitting in that building and you weren't allowed to walk in there to get them out? Yeah, how furious do you think you would be? I know how furious I would be. There'd be bricks going through windows real fast. Now, with all of those excuses, can you really believe on what these schools are saying and what Mr. Cook, as the president, is feeding out as lies for shutting down all of these programs and putting all of these needing students out to the cold? Now, I went to another local community college here where I actually went to school, Sinclair Community College in Dayton, Ohio. Now, I asked the professors there and the heads of the automotive programs to give me some information on what their programs are going through right now through this whole coronavirus stage. Now, they said they had between 120 and 130 students coming in across all of their degree programs. That's across the Chrysler CAP program, the GM ASET program, the Honda PACT, as well as their general automotive field. 130 students are coming into the school. Now, what about the whole social distancing portion of this? You realize these students work in labs that are 40 to 60 feet across each way. So we have the square footage to be able to put 15 to 20 kids in each one of these classrooms at a safe social distance. So we're not really running into any health code violations. We're having the seats filled and they aren't cutting any programs. Now, the automotive program there obviously is not running at any kind of black budget. They're obviously costing the community college to be able to run that program, but they see the opportunity to be able to fill the seats, and they see an opportunity to fill those needs within their community. Did you know at Sinclair Community College they have nearly a 100% job placement at these specialty automotive program levels? 100%. And you know what? Stcc was no different. They had over a 95% job placement for the automotive program in the second year. After the first year degree program that they went through, if they came back for the full 2-year degree program, then they were getting full placement almost 100% of the time. Now, what other degree programs like Internet of Things and social media strategy are seeing over 90% job placement after the first or second year within their programs? I haven't done the specific research on this, but I'm gonna guess pretty much nil. None of them are going to be doing that. So again, I asked the president, why would you cut these programs? Plenty of other schools across the United States, as proof here with Sinclair Community College, are able to function absolutely fine at less of a budget deficit than you guys are. Cutting the programs is just another excuse to get rid of some of those things and probably use the buildings for other things that you are wanting. Now we're going to fill you guys in on one other little twist of the story. Did you know under their contract of obligations that if a career program like the automotive program shuts down, they're not able to restart or have any students join for that degree program for the next 4 years? So what does that do to an automotive degree program building? Imagine a shop here. If all of a sudden it shut down and because of that you weren't allowed to start this shop up for the next 4 years. What's going to happen? Either A, all of your equipment rusts and immediately doesn't work anymore because you're in the Atlantic Northeast, none of the stuff's going to work, or B, somebody else really wanted to use the building for something else, so they're going to sell off every bit of equipment to be able to run their own agenda within that building. Yep, sounds like somebody's got an agenda of their own. Now we know the automotive industry right now is hurting for technicians. They're in a serious decline of having students that are actually coming through their programs and getting into the field. Students aren't just coming out of these degree programs and aren't coming into the automotive field at a fast enough pace to which technicians from older generations are leaving us a massive deficit of technicians here in the industry. I know for a fact the dealership I work at, we have had a standing toll onto internet platforms, to local papers, to different ad agencies trying to find technicians to be able to work at our dealership, and have had pretty much nothing come up for over 4 months. 4 months without any applications. We have competitive wages, competitive salaries. We also have vacation time and everything to roll with it. Health insurance. It's not the greatest, but you know what? It's a job. But we still almost 0 applications. That just goes to show you how much of a deficit there is for guys wanting to get into the automotive field or have the capabilities of doing it. So we really, really need these automotive programs. When you see these automotive programs and how they work, it's an amazing thing to be able to watch. Seeing these students grow and blossom to be able to learn a trade in which they will never forget and they will be able to use for a lifetime. Now, because of these schools cutting off these students' dreams and aspirations, they're either forced to go into other career fields because they can't afford to go to another college that it's over 70 or more miles away and has a tuition cost of over double what Stcc has to offer. So again, why would you do this to these students?
We had a very good thing going. We were very successful. Our employment numbers are around 90% of all my students. Usually by the second year students that I have, when they come back for the second year, most of them are already employed before they ever graduate. The demand is that high. So I thank you for this time. They should let me share with you the woes of my department. And I'm hoping that if you're willing, send an email out, tell them what the needs are and what you guys see out there, and help me try to turn this around. Thank you.
Now, what do I need from you guys? I want your help to be able to help out this community, these automotive students, their families, to be able to hopefully get the automotive program reinstated for the fall semester. I know time is short, but we're going to try to do what we can do. Now, in the description below, I'm going to be putting a couple of email addresses, and this is what I want you guys to do. I'd like you to email the president as well as the secretary for the Board of Education there at Stcc. I'd like you to tell them, please do not cut the automotive program or any of the other community college programs unrightfully like you have. Also, if you have the background, maybe throw in there that, hey, I was also a graduate out of an automotive degree program, and this is what kind of a success story it can show. Maybe give them some of your successes to show that these students are not just blank things that you can just throw out into the cold. They're actual students with career aspirations that can make something of themselves, that can make something for their family and for their community. Just throw some information in there onto why these students really need these programs. I would severely appreciate anything that you guys can do for these students. Now, I've talked to the old automotive program director, as well as students who graduated from the program and ones who are hoping to get into the program in the next year. They're good, honest people who really have been giving the short end of the stick and aren't able to move forward with their career aspirations and goals. So that's why I ask for you guys' help to please go to these email addresses and email some information to them and plead to them, please do not shut down this automotive program. We don't want to hear your excuses on certain things of why you think the program should be shut down, and let's hear about some actual possible goals and strategies to restart a program and get it going on the correct foot. So thank you guys tonight. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it was kind of a long-winded rant for me, but again, I really think this is a good cause and I think they need your support. They're going to get my full support as well. Maybe here in the next couple of weeks, if things end up turning around for that program, I'm even thinking about starting another grant scholarship program for them going on to the fall. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's get to emailing those email addresses, letting them know that we don't stand for this and we want to see the automotive programs thrive and flourish. Maybe share this to other social media, spread it across the internet. So let's get this thing to a national level so we can let Mr. John Cook, the president of Springfield Technical Community College, and let's hear his actual reasonings for shutting down these 7 programs. Because as we've seen tonight, his reasons were not valid reasons at all. And we really want to see his true colors come through. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody tuning into the channel tonight. If you guys have not already subscribed, I encourage you to hit that as well as the bell notification down below so you get notified when I come out with cool, awesome content just like this one here tonight. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, you guys stay awesome.